And hey guys, I know you can hear me, so enjoy this video. And this is going to be our intro tonight. There's Russ. You can hear Russ.
Hey.
I can't. Okay, here we go. All right, is that going to work? Seeing it's connected to something. All right. Did that work for you?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I can hear you. All right. Ah, yeah.
All right, perfect. You're still Mr. Winterfell.
Oh no. Should
like
be
from
Washington or something.
From the bank thing. When you were talking to the high school kids.
It was for when I was talking to. See, you learned. You did your homework.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna be. There we go. All right. I knew you guys could hear me. I wasn't the problem.
They hear us both now. I don't know if you ever heard the Wildlife Treasury video, though.
Guys, here we go. This is my customized Wildlife Treasury books. You'll see these little animal symbols. Well, you'll see what my daughter drew, and you'll see these little animal symbols everywhere. Like here and here and here. And these are the actual symbols that they use in the box to denote what you're talking about. So you have arachnids, you have crustaceans over there. You think I would know how to do this by now. It's kind of awesome. So did you have these as a kid, Russ?
I did have some of them. I don't think I had the case, but I had at least one set of the cards.
Yeah, so they come with these like letter. I have all the letters, right? So you can divide them by letter, or how I've done it is divide them by categories.
Oh, cool.
So you have mammalia, and then I don't know why they have on the order and suborder. It goes like all the way down the list. Can you see? It's like primates, and then insectivora, Dermoptera, Chiroptera. I don't know why it goes through everything, but man is number one on the primates. Man, monkey, tarsier, hedgehog, apparently. Oh no, these are other. No.
Oh, okay, it has an example of each of the
weird
each of the orders. Like insectivora has the hedgehog, Dermoptera has the flying lemur. That makes sense.
Okay.
So it just has an example of one of them onto the side.
They're weird.
That is weird.
It has a cool thing about hair. It's got all this information, number of species, about 4,000. Okay, that's for these guys. They've got all kinds of information. These are the cards. Just an example. This isn't one of the ones that we're going to be doing. My problem with these, first off, is Oriole or Golden Oriole. They have different names for the thing that they put first, so it makes it almost all but unfindable. So unless you know that other name, you're never going to find that creature. But it gives you a little information on like where it's from, what kind of habitat. This is the bird symbol. And then this is like they're everywhere. This means they're just everywhere. So, and these are so fun. So I had to find these on eBay. Yeah, this gives all your information. So this is like your biogeographical. They have symbols for each of those. Widespread is the one I was looking at.
Widespread, yeah.
So they all have one of these. The problem with these is like widespread is like if they're in more than 2 regions. So that's not really what I'm looking for. Then you have ecological classifications is like, where they're going to be found, deserts, prairies, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they have the little cheat sheet for the symbols that represent what phyla they're in.
That's
right.
cool.
Am I saying that right? The phyla?
If you're saying one, phylum.
Phylum. Okay, it's like octopus. Yeah. But they had all these crazy little cards. They had this guy here that goes over kind of zoological information. Some of it's still around. Some of it's still kind of accurate.
Cool.
Actually, this looks pretty good. You got invertebrates, vertebrates. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good. But that brings us to our fun part of the evening. First off, we've got classic Pepsi because this is from 1976 is when these started. I was 2 years old. They went on till 1980, I think.
I think it will, because the commercial was in 1986, I think.
It was in 1986?
That's what it said. I don't know if that's true.
Let's see. It did say 1986. Maybe it's 1980 to 19. It didn't last super long. $2.79 in 1986 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. So, yes, we have Lay's Cuban flavored. Cuban sandwich. All right. Wavy for extra flavor.
I got coconut water to try to be in theme with the coconut Dr. Pepper.
I know. I couldn't find it. I didn't want to spend $12 on a 10-pack or whatever.
Oh, no.
$10 on a 12-pack if I didn't like it. I didn't want to take that chance. Let's see. There we go. We're back to normal now. Okay. Here we go. That's good stuff.
Yeah? What does it taste like?
Frank says he'd be wearing gloves when handling delicate cards like these. Maybe.
Mustard and the chips? Do they taste like pickles?
They have a strong pickle flavor. I was hoping for more like ham.
Ham and pickles?
I'm getting like mustard and pickles is all I'm getting, which is not awful.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had worse on this show. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw last week the spiced Coke.
Yes.
Coke has failed me on so many different occasions. Like, their new flavors are trash, and Dr. Pepper coconut has got to be awesome. But I don't want to. If this show's taught me anything, don't invest your money. Oh no, we lost Russ.
Oh shoot, where'd I go? What the heck? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You just can't see me.
That's really weird.
Whoa, I'm trying to fix my camera. Hold on.
Your camera's done. Well, if you can see... Oh, Russ is gone. Well, I don't want to start without him. This one I have because it's just pretty, and I don't know what it is. Gotta turn that camera off. Rhodolarian. I don't know what that is, but it's some kind of a protozoa. An aquatic jewel. A rhodolarian is a tiny sea animal of fantastic beauty. The elegance and symmetry of its form, which varies from one radiolarian to another. Mustard, mayo, and pickle beverage. I ordered. They're not here. Ranch flavored soda. There's a ranch flavored soda and a buffalo chicken flavored soda. I do have shot glasses. I don't drink anymore, but I'm going to do a shot of like 2/3, 1/3. Let's see. We got him back.
Oh, there. I'm sorry. I have no idea what happened.
I don't know. It's that, what is it, the 14th or something? Yeah, it's Tuesday the 14th. You didn't know?
I guess not.
You didn't know that was a thing?
Now I'm going to
I missed the radiolarian. Have you seen these?
What is that? Oh, yeah. That is cool. I don't know much about them at all, but I have heard of them.
Yeah, it's a planktonic guy.
Is it freshwater or marine?
It looks like marine.
It reminds me of the Volvox, which I've seen in freshwater, but I don't think that's what it is.
Some kind of protozoan microorganism. They live alone or in colonies. They swim near the surface of the sea. Okay.
Okay, marine then. Okay.
There are 5,000 species of more than 5,000 species of radiolarian. But probably, I mean, this is from 1980 or so, so this is only 40 years outdated.
There might be 25,000 species of them by now.
I mean, at least. They probably reclassified 4 of the 5,000 into 6 different species. So there's that. All right, we're going to start kick it off with the problems that I have with these. The very first problem. I'm going to cover this up. Just show you the picture. All right.
Okay.
What do you think that is?
It looks like a cnidarian, like a coral.
Uh-huh.
Like a zoanthid, maybe?
How many types of coral do you think there are?
Oh, ridiculous numbers.
Well, this is all of them. So this is my problem. So it's calling a coral like, it should just say reef because it's talking about reefs on the back of the card.
Uh-huh.
Like coral reef is what it's talking about. So
okay.
Yeah, because it's calling it the very first thing that has is like they have these little, like under the word coral, it just says underwater fairyland. So it has these on all of them. It has this little like, cutesy little thing it says.
Like tagline.
Again, these are for like 10-year-olds, right? So whatever, but it's there. The colonies are the madrepores. I didn't know that. Each polyp is soft and has tentacles. I don't know that that's true. Maybe. I don't know. But they go into a lot of old information. Mm-hmm. The photos on these are also fantastic. So I did not know till I got these now, a couple months ago, that this is a leech. And that's how they eat.
It's eating like a newt or something.
It definitely has a newt. I think I didn't know that. So I thought they just like grabbed onto people and cows and whatever, or fish, and took a little snack. I didn't know that they like.
Some of them actually engulf their food. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of them. This isn't probably all of them, but that's terrifying. I thought leeches. Yeah,
not just parasitic. Some of them are actually predatory, consume their prey rather than just feed off of it. Yeah,
I did not know that.
But here's a funny thing that they're acting as if leech is. There's just like one species of leech. The way they're treating it, like one species of coral, one species of leech.
Just wait. These get so much better. These are not even the good ones. This one says a bloodthirsty little mouth. That's all it says. That's the little description, the flavor text, as it were. For anyone who played Magic the Gathering, that's flavor text. This one, I did my research on this one because I found another one that I was wrong about. I judged it, I prejudged it, and I was wrong. So this one I did my research, and I was not wrong. But we're going to cover up the name again. All right. What is this, guys? Put what you think this is.
Oh, I can't say it. I shouldn't say it.
I mean, we got like, 4 people? We got Frank, Luch, and Jedi. You guys have some wide-ranging knowledge.
Can I throw out the general group?
Yes, the general group is fine for all of these.
Okay, Cheliceratta.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, you went deeper than I was going to. Yeah, Cheliceratta is good. What's the common name that you would use for this guy?
Horseshoe crab.
Horseshoe crab. Not king crab, right?
Right. Definitely not king crab. Wow. Wow. A king crab is a true crustacean. A horseshoe crab is not a crustacean at all.
Well, that's also new information, I think. We're losing him again.
Oh, holy
We keep losing your camera, Russ.
The heck?
I don't know. I mean, that's okay. Yeah, king crab. So we're making our kids. I'm surprised I know so much about animals today, but you can see why I'm all about like common names, guys. But this shows me how wrong they can be. This shows me how awful these names can be.
Yeah,
like common names. This is an argument against common names right here.
Yeah, but I don't know of anyone who's ever called a horseshoe crab a king crab ever. I mean,
only the Wildlife Treasury, Mutual of Omaha, whatever this was.
Yeah, I have some concerns even with the common name horseshoe crab because they're not technically crabs.
Sure,
but it's a common name and it's accepted. But I feel bad
called
about king crab.
The flavor text is an underwater casserole.
That's what it says?
I don't know what that means. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think they might think the king crab is in many ways a living fossil. It is the last living example of Merostomes, sea animals that lived millions of years ago. There are now 5 species. One is found on the coast. So they're talking about horseshoe crabs. My problem is they don't have Latin names on here. They don't have the scientific names on here.
Yeah, that is part of the problem too.
They have the phylum, class, order, and then they go to characteristics. So you get as far as like Xyphosura, but that's as far as it goes. So you don't get the like Latin name.
You don't get the the genus and species.
Yeah, no, it just goes to 3. It goes 3 deep, and that's it. To family. You have pet horseshoe crabs?
I wish.
I own them in my saltwater aquariums.
That's cool. Who does?
Luch. Luch has some wild stuff. Luch.
That's true.
Is a dude that has some wild stuff.
Very true.
This is a sea spider, which it's not.
It's not, is it?
No. It's just some kind of crab.
It looks an awful lot like a crab, not like a sea spider to me.
Yeah, I don't have any anything for size reference, so I don't know, but it just looks like a regular algae crab kind of thing. Yeah, we're all about crabs. We're not even out of the crustacea, guys. We're going to go into arachnids next yet, I guess.
Looking at the legs there and trying to figure out what's going on. But it looks
definitely a crab.
Looks a lot more like a crustacean than a chelicerae to me.
Yeah, well, it's listed crustacean, but
yeah, but sea spiders, true sea spiders are not crustaceans at all.
Right.
But is that looks like it could be a crustacean, but there's some things that look wrong about it as well for that. But anyway,
I literally wanted to see if you wanted to get oh my god, Clint. I want to see if you wanted to get Clint to go on with these, and I think he would have had a stroke. I think he would have glitched out.
That's probably true. He's very focused on phylogeny.
Very, and all of his new videos with dinosaurs weren't birds and birds aren't birds and crabs aren't crabs or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Preserve. Yeah,
and insects are crustaceans and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's into all of that. Which fair.
Yeah, fair. It's cool. I like phylogeny. It's just that would have been awesome for this. Yeah, definitely.
We're moving on to a parasite that's listed as an arachnid. I don't know. You can't tell from the photo if they have legs. There's one dot that might have a leg. These are a parasite, a skin parasite called the itch mite.
Ooh, fun.
Now this one, they actually kind of give a name to. Smaller than the head of a pin. Yeah, it is. So this goes down to the family name. So this is Sarcoptic mange.
Okay.
But it goes into scabies. So I had scabies as a kid. And it was horrible. Like the doctor diagnosed it as scabies and then wouldn't come near us. Like my sister and I, we don't know how we got it. We don't know what the deal was. My parents didn't have it. Like it was bad. So every night we had to strip down and get this like slathered in this goo. I don't know what it was. It smelled like chemical smell. And then you stood there till it dried off. And all of our stuff was wrapped in plastic. All of our sheets got like boiled every night. It was crazy. Wow. But yeah, that was scabies. So I have a card to remind me of that trauma.
Yeah.
And apparently it's an arachnid.
And it is.
So, okay,
Mites are arachnids, so they got that right, at least.
you can't see that. It's
Yeah,
weird.
you can't tell from just looking at them in the
They look
photo.
a lot like mealworms, some of them. This one's for you. So this one, I thought they nailed it. It's called, the flavor text is Little Whippersnapper. And I think that,
Awesome. They have an amblypygid. That is
yeah.
so cool.
And the close-up on it makes it look huge. This is like a macro shot from back in the day.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah, they got this one correct. Although I don't know how widespread they are. Are they everywhere?
They're not everywhere, but they are in more than one place. And so by their definition, they're widespread. And they do live
All right.
They do live in multiple continents and whatnot, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, okay. This next one brings us back to what annoys me the most about these sets. I don't know if you remember the thing about coral, but these are ants.
Just ants.
I don't know what kind. I should have reached out to see if people know. I think this is a Formica.
The genus Formica.
Yeah, it's either Formica or Camponotus, but I don't know which one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wrapped in plastic. It's so fantastic. Thanks, Frank. My poor grandma had scabies. Sorry you had that terrible experience. Yeah, LF, it was bad. You just scratch yourself till you bled. Like,
Ooh.
probably why I have an itch thing now. Like, I lose my mind if I have an itch. I cannot. Like, I remember reaching up the back of my suit jacket at my wedding, like on the altar, to get an itch. Like, I can't deal with it. My dad was like, "What was going on there?" So what do you mean? I didn't even know I did it. So, of course, he had pictures. My dad took pictures. So, I really want a group of Phrenus Margina maculatus.
Yeah, that's a species of amblypygid that is native to Florida.
See, and I know what an amblypygid is now, so I'm excited. Are they cooler looking or not?
They just look like the normal ones. They have kind of short, fairly short pedipalps for an amblypygid. Like, they're not off the charts as far as those go, but they're communal.
Okay, that's cool.
And like a medium-sized one, and so yeah, I think it would be cool to have a colony of Phrenus Margina maculatus.
Florida's got some too cool stuff. I need to go down there and just bring some containers with me and go.
I didn't see any the first time I was in Florida. I didn't see any, but that doesn't mean anything. I didn't have a lot of time to go look for stuff. Saw manatees. That was good enough for me.
You don't know how jealous I am. I've seen, since talking to you, and I've seen nonstop videos on my YouTube feed, shorts come up with manatees now, because you know how their algorithm works.
Yeah.
But they had a blast. Like, they just look. There's no way in heaven or anywhere else that I would not embrace a manatee that embraced me.
Oh yeah.
There's no way I could sit there and be like, "Oh, okay." I'd be getting fined. I'd be like, "Good, get me off the manatee then. Come get me. What are you gonna do? I live here now." My family doesn't love me this much. There's no way. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, these guys look like a relation to the cicada, but I could be very, very wrong about that. I'm guessing a beetle. I don't know for sure. 3 years underground. Oh, that's another clue. That might be cicada-ish.
Yeah.
But it could also be a beetle. I don't know if they're closely related. Scarabaeidae or whatever. This is definitely a beetle.
Yeah.
I just put this one in for its name. It's a cockchafer. So,
wow.
And it's really cool looking. Like, I think it's cool looking.
They're cool.
It's got a great name.
I love those antennae. But yeah, it sounds like something you don't want to happen.
No, you don't want to get these things anywhere near your underground for 3 years. No. Which states is it illegal to interact with manatees? I think all of them. They're protected. Florida for sure. 100% Florida, you're not allowed to touch them. Even if they touch you first, which they do a lot. So
they can touch you, you just can't touch back.
Yeah. So, which I guess they don't want them acclimated to people, but it seems like they kind of don't care. Like, they are already acclimated.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Like fully aquatic capybaras or something. Like, they just are the friendliest animal on the planet. Oh, here's another one we have. This is kind of terrifying because I think this is the wrong insect for one thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the wrong insect. So you tell me, our bug people. Not the one he's eating, but what is that guy?
Is that supposed to be a predatory katydid?
I think so, but it's a grasshopper. You'd be wrong, Russ. It's definitely a katydid. Some kind of katydid.
You can't
Yeah,
really tell.
not a grasshopper.
You can't really tell from its front legs if it has raptorial forelegs like the true predatory katydids do.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's kind of hard to tell because a lot of orthopterans are opportunistically, they'll scavenge on stuff. Like if a butterfly's lying there being dead, they will eat it, some of them.
A regular grasshopper?
Even if they're not normally predaceous, some of them will do that.
Okay, all right. Good. This is another one just for you that I was glad was in here. So the tagline is a wasp disguised as an ant. So I think that's enough.
Oh, it's a velvet ant?
Really cool
yeah, I like that one.
Very cool velvet ant.
That's beautiful.
I think it's funny how many of these my daughter noticed this, but because she's got my dumb attention to detail, but so many of these are photographed on this sand. Like
they just dumped them in a photo box and on the same sand.
Like it's yeah. That's exactly what it looks like, and it's really funny. Yeah, Jedi, you can swim with them. You just can't. Not red what? Red velvet ants? There's a bunch of velvet ants in Sandy. Yeah, I think, was it you or was it Joe that had the setup with the puffball ones? They look like little cotton balls.
I had those, but I got them from Joe. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's millions of those guys.
Yeah, and there are a lot of velvet ants with different patterns and colors. When I was in Arizona, I saw some that looked kind of like that one you just showed me.
I love that black and white spots. Like, it's just so remarkable. And honestly, it looks like it would be hard to find with the spots on it.
Right. It might blend in a lot better with some of the other things. It's not so much aposematic. Maybe it's more cryptic. There are nocturnal ones that are quite cryptic. Usually the diurnal ones tend to be more aposematic and the nocturnal ones are more cryptic. But,
So the daylight ones are like, hey, I will sting you really hard.
And the other one's like, nothing to see here.
Yeah. Weird. The ones over here get giant. The velvet ants, Frank?
Do you have Dasymatilla occidentalis, Frank, to tank where you are? Because those get big.
What are we talking big? Like a couple inches?
Like over an inch. Yeah. And pretty bulky. They're big. Maybe an inch and a half ish. I don't know. Some might get to 2 inches. The ones I've had are about probably an inch and a half, maybe an inch and 3/4. I don't know. I didn't actually measure them, but they're big. I think the biggest one we get is Klugai, and they don't get quite as big as occidentalis. They get big, but not as big as occidentalis.
It still boggles me that Klugai is like a descriptor and not, because I'm only familiar with Armadillidium Klugai up until like 3 months ago. And then I started hearing Klugai for a bunch of other things.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of stuff that, has that name.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was like a region, but I guess not.
I should look up the person for whom it is named. Typically, if it has the double I at the end, it is named after person. So I should look that up. See who it is.
Mr. Klug?
Like Jestroy and Klugai and So, Frank the Tank, it was occidentalis. Those are the big ones, yep.
That's awesome. Frank, you have my address. You know where to send them. Give up. Or maybe you don't. All right, here's another one. This is just slightly mislabeled, I think. This is labeled as an angelfish. Angel shark.
They meant angel shark, didn't they? Yeah.
Pretty sure. Tagline's my favorite. Angel or demon? It's like maybe he's atheist. We don't know. We don't know about that shark or fish.
Yeah, that's weird.
The fish ones are great because they just got real lazy. So we have catfish.
Okay.
I mean, technically they're right, but I don't think anyone looks at that and thinks catfish.
Right.
Like,
oh,
that's pretty much Corydoras, right?
yeah, that's definitely either a Corydoras or a very closely allied genus. But I would
Like
go
an
with
armored catfish.
There are a couple other genera that look pretty similar, but I'm reasonably sure that is indeed a Corydoras.
Yep. Meow catfish. Yeah. Thanks, Sandy.
Oh, yeah, green Jedi monkey. Yeah. If it doesn't necessarily have to have two eyes, it could have one eye or two eye at the end to be named after a person.
One eye. Old one eye.
That's
We
what
have
it
more
does.
of these generalities. We have goldfish.
And I don't think it's a little hard for me to see in the photo, but I think many of those are actually koi. Maybe all of
I
them.
think all of these are koi.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but I would gamble that they are all koi.
I would too.
So,
from what I can see,
yeah.
there's a little kind of a glare on it and whatnot, but yeah, I would say they're all koi too.
I'm confident they're all koi. If you find somebody with that many, they're a keeper. They know what they're doing. This one was labeled correctly, but I loved the second name. Hungry Jaws is the name of this one. So, or the man-eater shark.
Oh boy.
So also a little dated, also from the 80s. Yeah, man-eater, poor guy.
Let's give it another name that's really exciting for 10-year-olds.
Dad, these eat people. Not ladies, though. Oh, followed by shark.
Just shark.
Just shark.
Just in case we weren't vague enough last time, we're gonna put this card out there too. Wow.
I think this is a reef tip, a black tip reef shark. But I don't know.
Can't really tell. It might be though. Can't really tell.
I'm not a shark expert, but I know that. I mean, I know it's a shark. It's correct.
That's like calling a beetle a beetle. You know?
Yeah, kind of. Only like what 40% of the life forms on Earth are beetles. So
yeah, it's
this one also for you because you're Italian. So this is a Sicilian.
Never going against the Sicilian when death is on the line.
That was amazing. That was fantastic. Wow. I closed my eyes for a second and I was like, wait a minute. Did he have that as a soundbite? That was great. I was Fezzik for Halloween. So
oh, that's awesome.
And I was running around. I had the outfit and then I had a big black cloak to put on. My Jedi robe that I wore for the show.
Yeah. Yeah, you had
so when I got a little darker. Yeah, and I was like, I'm the Dread Pirate Wobbers. Not as good. But these guys, we used to sell these guys at PetSmart when I worked there.
Really?
In the 90s. Yeah.
The aquatic ones?
The aquatic ones, yeah. I have not seen a land one. But I'm not surprised.
When I was a kid, I bought one of those aquatic ones. It was a very short-lived experience with it, but I did buy one.
Yeah, ours didn't make it very long either. They never died on us in store, but they're one of those poor creatures that can live a long time without being cared for correctly, as long as they have decent water. Right. And unfortunately, so pretty much as soon as they went to a home, they died or escaped and died, or they would bring them in like, hey, this thing died, and it's jerky. We didn't kill it. Like, this is on you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to ours. It climbed out of the tank. It was not properly enclosed in the tank we had, and we found it jerky later. Yeah.
Is this the one that's wrong? Oh no, this is not the one that's wrong. Okay. I don't know why alligators in here for identifier. Okay. I think we know the identifier of an alligator, right? The
yes.
Kind of
that the broad
rounded off.
Yeah.
Mouth, like it doesn't taper to a point.
Right.
They look like it could be more ambulatory. So this is your alligator. This undoubtedly is a caiman. Okay. That makes sense. But actually kind of looks more like a crocodile. But I'm pretty confident that's actually a caiman.
Okay.
That's definitely a dog. Frank. It says on the back, it says German Shepherd. What? Now this was my problem. This is labeled crocodile, but I'm pretty sure these are just American alligators. Like the snout isn't right and the teeth aren't right. Anyone else?
I'm not sure because I'm not seeing it from the top view. From the top view, I'd be more confident.
Yeah, but I just was like, these don't look like gators. You got that kind of rounded snout. I think the teeth are wrong. I think the teeth are wrong to be a croc.
Many of the crocodiles have the tooth
overlap.
that comes up from the side, and you can see it. That tooth from the bottom that comes up over the side in crocodiles.
You guys think this is pointy enough to be the crocodile? I was on the fence. I was like, I don't know. It looks very... There's one right there by my finger that you could just see the snout.
Mm-hmm. It looks narrower than an alligator, but...
All right. I could be wrong. That's fine. I'll take that one.
The crocodile tooth that points up from the bottom, though. What about that?
Let's see if we can Google that or something. Whoop. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I started playing the illustrated wildlife video again. All right. Crocodile characteristics.
Yeah, it says alligators and caimans have broader snouts than crocodiles, and the lower teeth cannot be seen when the jaw is closed. All their upper jaw teeth hang over those in the lower jaw.
Who's hangover?
The lower teeth in an alligator and a crocodile, when the jaw is closed, you can't see the lower teeth.
There's a gharial.
Oh, gharials are super cool. They had a lot of those at the
are.
zoo in Honolulu. And they were big ones too. Amazing.
All right, here we're gonna share this screen here. I wanna say that I'm right because I like to argue. So that's not it. Here we go. All right, can you guys see that? All right, see what I'm saying right here? Look at those teeth; they're all like,
yeah, they're also
opposed, right?
Up and down. Yeah.
These guys are right here. This is what
you can only see the upper teeth.
Right. Here we go. Let me get that out again. I have to be right. Russ. Let's take that out. Okay.
So if you can't see the lower teeth, we can't really, can we? So those could be alligators, or they could be caimans from that reckoning.
It could be a caiman. We lost your video again.
But if it's a caiman, it's not a crocodile. So
an ugly swimmer. Russ, your camera hates us today. Russ got punted again. Let's just label it a dog. Everything's a dog. We're going to get to the dogs. Don't you worry about it. We are going to get to some dogs, my friend. Oh, gharials are super dope. With those super long jaws. Here he is. Okay.
I really wish I knew what were going on, but yeah, I think based on that, they may be caimans. They don't particularly look like crocodiles, do they?
I'll take that. That's acceptable to me. I just was like, these are not crocodiles.
Yeah.
My daughter was like, yeah, Daddy, it says. She can read now, so everything's a contest. I was proud of her for like 3 days, and then I was like, just stop. Because I used to tell her, she'd tell me I'm wrong, and I'm like, no, I'm reading the thing right here. I'm reading it. There's no way you're correct. So now she can read it too.
Now she can read it too, yeah.
Those lies are over. All right, this guy, I thought they had an odd choice for the representative of iguana.
Oh, they chose marine iguanas, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
That is odd to just say iguana.
Yeah. And it just says ugly swimmer. an ugly swimmer, which,
Does it mention the Galapagos Islands or anything on that one?
Yep, it mentions it right away. First of all the lizards, the marine iguanas of the Galapagos Islands is the only one that gets its food from the sea.
Okay, so
That's
at
true.
least they know that they're marine iguanas. They're just conveniently omitting that from the front.
They mention them.
Yeah.
The largest is the common green iguana that lives in the tropical forest South America. Yeah, they mention the other ones.
Okay. Strange.
I think marine iguanas are just like a weird adaptation because they're in no other way are they adapted to underwater life. Like their feet are not good for swimming, their tails are not very good for swimming. They essentially just crawl along the rocks on the bottom.
And just, so their snouts are adapted, their metabolism is adapted because they can slow down their heartbeat and stuff like that so that they can forage for algae. And then they have the dark coloration so that they absorb heat because the water is so cold that if they don't absorb heat quickly, then they can't really regulate their metabolism.
Okay,
so they have a few adaptations, but they're still fairly poorly adapted to marine life compared to a lot of other creatures.
You would think, you would look at it and be like, no. If you just looked at that animal, you'd be like, no, that doesn't live in the water. It has no water characteristics. It's got a short, fat nose. Like, it's not streamlined particularly. It's made to, filter out the salt, right? It sneezes out the salt, basically.
They do sneeze out the salt, which is something a lot of reptiles can do to some degree, but I guess they're especially good at it.
Yeah, right. But now we go to regular. This is what we were thinking about with iguana, which I don't even think that's a green iguana. Maybe. It's very young.
Maybe it is, but it looks... It doesn't look like a full-grown, major male or anything.
No. This is But that's what I think of when I think of iguana. I don't know why they couldn't just label it marine.
Right. That's what you want to see. If they had just done marine iguana and green iguana, that would have been fine.
Frank asked if they actually decrease their skeletal size. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Jedi's going to Google it, though. This bird, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it because the camouflage is super good. Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah.
This is a goat sucker. Great name. Great name for a kid to have in his repertoire.
I love that because that is the direct translation of chupacabra.
So this is the chupacabra.
In a sense, yeah.
It acts like a toad or a swallow. That's pretty. It's called the wind swallower because it eats insects in flight. Goat head because shepherds used to think that it fills the throat. It sucked milk from their goats. Flying toad because of its strange shape and color. The goat sucker's multicolored plumage is gray-brown striped with fawn and maroon. Blends in well in dry fields where the birds live.
When I have encountered those once or twice, and it is amazing how well they blend in on the ground. Absolutely mind-boggling.
I mean, if you just look at this picture in person, it's hard to see. You have to look at it for a second to see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make out what part of the bird am I looking at? Because it looks like a piece of bark, like the way the feathers are.
Yeah,
it is on the wing. It just looks like a piece of bark.
Exactly, and it whatever it's on, it tends to be able to blend in. It just tends to just kind of melt into whatever it is.
And I think these are isopods trying to hide underneath it. So it's possible. Oh, here we have Louie. Now, I know our friend at Pet Peas and Pods has Louie. Louie is the representative of the goose. He's the epitome of goose.
Oh, there we go.
So, again, what kind of goose? What am I looking at here? Doesn't even say in here. The first sentence they talk about is foie gras. Talk about how they fatten up the goose to get its liver. That's the first sentence.
That's the first thing they go to, huh? Wow.
To increase the supply of liver paste and the pleasure of gourmets, young domestic geese are condemned to fatness as soon as they are born.
Woo! Kind of a dark turn for 10-year-old little kids.
The first sentence. Oh, and the tagline, I didn't see this either. The tagline, it says goose, The cruelty of food lovers. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. They went deep.
I might have gone in a slightly different direction, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Take that turn on a David Attenborough special. Like, he's the one that gets real serious now. Remarkably, marine iguanas can shrink their actual skeletons when they need to. Iguanas shrink up to 20% of their length.
Holy cow.
So, like, the ligament, like the tendons and stuff retract?
That's bizarre. Hadn't heard of that.
Toad mouth looking bird. My attention is very divided this evening. Jedi's not Googling tonight.
Oh, no worries.
All right, we're up to a crowned pigeon.
Oh,
which
cool.
It's just cool.
It is cool.
These are the closest relative to a dodo on the food chain.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like phylogenetically, that is the closest relative to a dodo?
Closest living relative to a dodo.
Relative. Okay.
Well, according to the 80s.
According to the 80s. I was under the impression that dodos were essentially a type of pigeon. Large flightless.
They are, yeah. Well, I mean, if that's true that they're related to these guys, then they are a pigeon. So they have these guys at Brookfield, actually, one of my favorite birds.
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
Yeah, because the male is always displaying, and they have this huge crest of feathers, like one row of feathers. I saw those at the Singapore Zoo. They're very cool. They are very cool looking. They're not this blue. I don't know. Well, the ones they have at Brookfield are not this blue. So I don't know, maybe they had a filter or what, but this thing is like Crayola blue. Now we have jungle cat, which I believe this is a Fisher cat. I believe. So, or my neighbor's cat. A big cat that looks like a dog. What? Also confusing, rather long nose and pointed ears. No, cats have pointed ears. Why is that confusing? People mistake it for a jackal. They doubt it's truly a cat. They're from China. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're saying all these weird things about it. It looks just like a cat to me. I don't know. People are dumb. I think they're describing the cat that's not in the photo. Then we have the singular, the best representation of parrot.
Got an African gray, but
yeah, arguably the best.
It's certainly one of the ones that springs to mind for people. I guess there are several other. It could have been a macaw, or it could have been an Amazon parrot, or whatever. But that one works.
I would think
so vague.
They're super vague on these. It's real crazy. Polly wants a cracker, is the comment. Yeah. Yeah, I would have used a macaw. I think if I was on these and I had to pick one to represent parrot, it would be macaw.
Like a scarlet macaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is monk, parrot, or clown. I don't know why it would be a monk, but that made me laugh.
Oh, the puffin. Yeah.
The best. A lot of these, the names just made me laugh. So we have Screamer. That's all that bird is there's no other information on what it is. It's a chicken-headed goose. They don't like this bird. Like, let's talk trash about this bird. They're related to ducks, apparently.
Oh, I think I remember Clint talking about those in one of his phylogeny videos, in fact.
The Screamer?
Yeah, I think so.
He probably had a better name for it, but they're related to ducks, but poor swimmers, live in swamps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did talk about that.
That's funny. So he already did this. Then they get into domestic stuff. So we have domestic
rabbit. That's somewhat impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That they went that far into specificity. Like,
I don't have any other domestic ones. I have a domestic goat, but I don't have any other. Hey, you got it back, no problem this time.
That time it was pretty fast. I'm starting to learn the drill.
Wabbit season.
Duck season.
Kia
season.
Parrots.
Duck season.
It's fowl season.
Foul.
Yeah, I don't even know that that's true, but I guess it is.
Yeah, it's just so non-specific. I mean, they have to take pains to get less specific. I mean, that's wow.
Foul is that's a broad brush.
Yeah, interesting.
This is the one that I was wrong. I made fun of them that this is the card that spawned this episode. And I was wrong. They are correct. They are correct on this card, actually.
Okay.
So this card
That's true. That's true because
is panda.
Giant panda is not a panda, it's a bear.
Well, also, these were discovered first.
True.
So these were labeled panda.
Mm-hmm.
Then giant panda is the official name of the panda we know and love.
Right.
So
right. That's true.
So they did reclassify it as an actual bear.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they stuck to their guns. They stuck to their guns for a long time. That
they did.
Panda's like a raccoon.
They did for a long time, and then they switched. I'm not sure how recently it's been, but it's been a while that they switched to saying it's a real bear now. And yeah, the term panda comes from a word meaning eater of bamboo. And that's why they just have the names.
And these guys are not great eaters of bamboo, but they do it. More the leaves than anything else. Wait. Peaceful and sociable, easily trained, and makes a good pet.
That's what it says?
It says it right on the card. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
For the red panda. So if anybody has a hookup, like, I will break laws. I will break laws to own a red panda. Let me tell you right now. Spoiler alert, can't afford one, but probably don't have space. Probably would have to get rid of it when I found my Legos. We have, this is another. This one made me laugh way too hard. Just pet dog. Just pet dog.
No offense to anyone who loves and owns Chihuahuas, but that is hardly the platonic ideal of a dog, in my estimation.
Yeah, and these dogs have like some dogs have specific jobs, such as police dog.
Wow, okay. So only German Shepherds are allowed to be in canine units, I guess.
That's it. I mean, this was the 80s. That was it, right? So, Sandy, I have a tip for you. If you ever want to hold someone else's Chihuahua, which isn't normally recommended, they're very, very protective of their owners. Just have them hold their snapping, snarling Chihuahua, have them pick it up, and then hand it to you butt first. And then you grab the dog, and the dog looks at the owner like, wait a minute. And then it just looks at you like, we're cool, right? I didn't mean all that stuff I was just saying. It's the best. It's never failed. That technique has never failed me as a vet tech. For 3 years, we used that technique. I believe it's still in practice.
That's funny.
Yep. I was like, you know what? Just turn him around and hand him to me. And the owner was like, what? And that's when I figured it out. And it worked so well. It worked so well. It was
so amazing. How did you figure that out? Just random chance one day, or somebody told you, or?
No, I was, when I was a vet tech, I started cleaning kennels, and 6 months later I was the head tech. So, I knew it was going to be like entry level. I just wanted to do this.
Yeah.
So, and then within 6 months of that, I was going all over the Midwest training other vet techs how to restrain animals. So, because my techniques are super, super good.
Cool.
But this one, it occurred to me, like some of these things will just dawn on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the room with this savage, like no one else would see this dog. Like this dog was a known, he'd send multiple nurses to for stitches. Like This dog was just a jerk. So I said, you know what, let's do a thing. I looked at her literally like, let's try something. And because she was trying to hold the dog on the table, and we don't let them do that because they can let go or they don't hold it tight enough and it gets you anyway. Dog fall off the table, get hurt, whatever. So I said, turn him around and just hand him to me, butt first. And the lady's like, what? And I said, yeah, let's try that. And so she did it. She's like, are you sure? And yeah, sure. I was on a knee. I took a knee. She took a knee. So it was close to the floor just in case. And sure enough, as soon as he was in my hands, he looked at her And then he looked at me like, oh, what? And I could do anything. At that point, I could do anything to him. He did not care. He
What
was
is this
amazing.
sorcery?
Yeah. Even when I put him down to his owner, he came over and was like, we're still good, right? Like he came over to give me a kiss. I was like, all right, this is a different dog. So we did it for every single little dog. That's what we did.
That's cool. I'm going to have to remember that.
Yeah, they're great. So have them go right to your butt first and you're good to go. If you get bit with that, I mean, it's not a promise, but I never saw it happen in 3 years. I never saw anybody get bit or even close using that technique.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They respect trauma. All right, we have this is another one where I think they could have used it better, especially for American audiences or any audience that was buying these cards. Honestly, these were in Europe too. So we have anteater, or I'm sorry, porcupine.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. It is.
Yeah.
But like, why not use ours? This is a prehensile tail porcupine. So
they're not using the ones that we find in North America. Yeah.
No, they're not. Which, diversity, fine. But
yeah,
like there are other ones out there.
Indicating maybe which type it was, like iguana.
Maybe specify a little bit.
When people say, what's the one? People say a darkling beetle. Like I keep darkling beetles, and I always ask, what kind of darkling beetles do you keep? And they don't realize how many thousands of species of darkling beetles there are.
Yeah, and people do. People that know about it say, "Oh yeah, I keep this, I keep darklings," because they'll have 10 Latin names and then go into darkling, and you're like,
right?
Isn't that a big brush? I feel like that's a big brush.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, like very, very many of them look the same.
Yeah,
very, very many of them
look pretty similar. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be a scientist. Like you'd have to be in there checking them out to find out that they're not the same thing. Where do you inject a ball? So many places to choose from. Oh, if I had to figure out how to give injection to a ball python. I never instructed anyone how to restrain a snake. We never had to do it. I think birds and iguana was the biggest I got. And my iguana restraint was awful. So someone left a 12-pound iguana in the store in a cat carrier.
Wow.
And so they gave it to us to find it a home. And it was terrified. Obviously missed its owner. I was thinking, awesome, an iguana. Like, it's a leaf eater. What could it do? So I put it on my chest and just let it climb on me. And I was like, ha, 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 until it, like, sliced my ear open, like, with a claw. On accident. It didn't mean to, but it just... And I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's fine. Pride. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's like trying to get on my head. They're pulling it off. Its claws are like daggers.
Oh.
So, yeah. But I didn't know they could, like, really have a savage bite if they want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just found that out, like, this year.
Mess you up pretty fast if they want to.
Yeah. I could have really paid the price for that one. Iguana tails are like whips. Yeah, that's a thing I was worried about too.
Yeah.
African crested porcupine, they're almost untouchable by predators.
Yeah,
that's the big ones, right?
Yeah, the big ones. They had some of those at our zoo here, and yeah.
Yeah, they have them at Brookfield too. I don't think they're on exhibit. They smell.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
they had
they're impressive. Yeah.
They had them come out. They have them trained to look. They have 3 little cups that they put over a treat. One is over a treat, and he comes out of his little thing, grabs the cup off the treat every time, like he knows which one it is by smell. Yeah, so it's like immediate and flawless. Saw somebody bring their iguana to Home Depot. Ugh. People are so weird. People wonder why I judge people, and then they tell me a story like that, and you just... Like, why? Why bring your reptile all over the place like that? In most cases, it's traumatic for the reptile. Like, why? Why? It's weird. They still see things as predators. Like, they're not, I don't know. Weird smells, weird sights and sounds. Too much. It's too much. I get you probably have a beardy. Somebody watching this right now has a bearded dragon that they could take anywhere, and it loves it, and it's amazing. And for the animal, too, and that's great. But I don't know. I'm against it. I'm not for that.
There's always possibility something could happen.
Yeah, or I mean anything. You could freak someone out. Like, I don't know. I don't like seeing people bring their dogs into Home Depot. Like, why? Why? Leave your dog at home. Why you bring him in Home Depot? Like, I don't want to step in dog pee at Home Depot. Like, that's a very real possibility.
That's true. It's true. A goldfish in some type of clear fish backpack. Wow. A fish backpack.
That's just for attention. That's just like, that's all that is.
Seems like that's going to stress out the fish pretty quickly too.
And we can see by those pictures that I just showed you, like, goldfish are big. So.
Yes.
Just in a big, clear fish backpack. I bet they got that on Temu.
I saw someone in at the Reptile Expo, I think it was. They had a beardy in one of those cat backpacks with the clear viewing window.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen worse things than that. That wasn't so horrible. I'm not too worried about that. But carrying goldfish around in a backpack, I mean, you're just going to build up ammonia in there fast.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be happy.
I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, it's a goldfish, but still, it's a living thing.
Yeah.
And how much attention do you need? Like, get a face tattoo. If you want that much attention and that kind of attention, just get a face tattoo, and you're fine.
A goldfish face tattoo.
Ooh, even goldfish in a backpack. That's pretty detailed, but you could do it. These guys they're amazing now. Kevin, if you're watching this, yeah, face tattoos are still for felons. I'm sorry. So many people use strollers for their little dogs. Yeah, there was a lady who tried to sue a restaurant because they wouldn't let her bring her monkey in to the restaurant, and I was about to like join a group that was going to fund the defense attorneys. Like, no monkeys. There's too many chances of zoonotic disease. It's a restaurant. All right, that brings us to spiny anteater, and I don't think they're supposedly better protected than a porcupine. I don't know why that is. Covered in spines. They're not barbed. The spines on the back stick up and others project from the side. There's no way to get at its protected underside, blah, blah, blah. It does note that they are monotremes. So this is an echidna.
Yeah.
But it does say that they're monotremes. So that's kind of nice. I wasn't expecting that. So, okay, it's saying they're better protected because they have spines on the side as well. So you can't flip it.
Okay, I guess you can flip a porcupine if you know what you're doing.
I mean, who does it? There is an animal that does it.
A mountain lion.
Martin?
And I think they're not the only one. Yeah, I think martins maybe and fishers maybe do that. And I know mountain lions do it.
I didn't know mountain lions could do it. That's crazy.
I don't think all of them do, but I think some figure it out.
Okay, that's fair. I heard about a guy a couple of years ago in California got attacked by the mountain lion while he was bicycling out in the middle of nowhere, and he killed the mountain lion with his bare hands. He got jacked off his bike, like he got jumped, and it knocked him off his bike. Whoa. So it totally had him. He wound up killing it with his bare hands, and then they arrested him after he got out of the hospital.
Because he killed it. Because he killed it.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure he got off, but he did get arrested. But I was like, he should be giving him, like, I love mountain lions, don't get me wrong, but some kind of medal or an award or a cartoon special just about you. Like, you're a superhero. Like, that guy's a superhero.
Yeah. I see, someone who goes out of their way to kill a mountain lion for no reason, that's one thing. But someone who's just defending themselves, I mean, give them a break.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to the hospital. He didn't go after this. He didn't wake up in the morning like, you know what? I'm going to go out on my mountain bike with a bottled water and some trail mix. And I'm going to kill a mountain lion. That's all I have.
Right.
That's all I have with me. And I'm not going to be paying attention. So if the mountain lion gets me first, he gets me first. But I'm going to kill a mountain lion today. So that's how crazy we are. What are these? My daughter put these in here. Oh, no, these are the ones that come in the front. So we have amoeba, one of my favorites.
Oh, I think I had that. I did. I had that very one.
You had this card or this picture?
I had that card. Yeah.
Oh, see? I have my mom looking for mine. She still has all kinds of stuff. My originals. This is Noctiluca.
No.
See, they get real specific on this stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's a giant phosphorescent cell.
Are those the ones, the dinoflagellates?
Can be seen without a microscope or even a magnifying glass. It is a giant of its kind with a diameter of 0.08 inch. That's big.
Yeah, it is.
Its name means nightlight. That's true.
True.
When the water stirred. Oh, these are the guys that
The dinoflagellates
I think are in the ocean.
The phosphorescent water. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when you go through them, they light up. You disturb them.
Yeah, like in Puerto Rico or several places like that.
That's something I want to do before I die is swim.
Me too.
Among these. That would be cool. With some like drone footage from above.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah.
Then we have paramecium, which if you haven't seen these under a microscope, you had a really crappy science class in school.
True.
Sorry.
Maybe you're right, green jetted monkey. Maybe I'm thinking there are bioluminescent dinoflagellates, but maybe these are not them. I don't know. I don't remember.
That's possible. But yeah, that's all the interesting ones that I had. There's a million more. I have 576 of these cards.
Really?
There were over 1,000 made. So I want to try to track them all down.
See if you can get the whole collection. That would be something.
I do.
And they're probably, are they more than $279 per pack now?
This whole thing, this 576 was $40. I want to say it was $40 with the case.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And the case is not cracked.
For such a vintage item. Vintage collection.
My wife was like, they're everywhere. If you look on eBay right now, you'll find 50 listings for these.
Really?
All various amounts of cards, all in various conditions. A lot of the cases are cracked, which I almost wanted the cracked case because I feel like mine definitely was cracked as a kid. Because I took this thing everywhere with me. I took this case. It went everywhere with me for like 6 months. And I'd be showing people, every single person. I'd be like, look at this. Do you know this about this? This says this. Do you know this? And I'm sure every human was just like, get this kid away from me.
I can just imagine that mini Josh doing that. If I had ever met you at that time, we would have just totally hit it off. We would have been doing that for hours.
I mean, we hit it off now, but we would have been best friends back then.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, if that would have been the first way we met, it would have been instant.
Yeah. It would have been friends for life. Because absolutely. I mean, it was bad. The poor people that had to interact with me.
I know.
Like my kid now is like too smart for her own good, and you see her annoying people. And people are nice, you're nice because it's a kid, but at the same time, you're like, I don't want to hear about Pokemon. I'm not your Uncle Josh. I don't want to hear about Pokemon for 6 hours. A Reddit for people that collect these. See, I got to figure out Reddit. I tried to find a Facebook group. There's no Facebook groups about these. Frank, I think there is a slime mold card. I don't have it. So,
well, the nice thing is you could just get a blank card and then just like smear some slime mold on it, and it would just harden there in a dormant state. And then whenever you wanted to wake it up,
then you would just
wake it up. But if you didn't, you just put it in your card collection.
Okay. That works.
I had to look it up just to check. Noctiluca is a dinoflagellate.
Okay. All right.
It is indeed. It doesn't look maybe like a typical one, but it's right here. So just had to check.
There might be dinoflagellate cards. There's not even a list. You can't even find a list of available cards. Like I couldn't. Really? If anybody can find that, let me know. Send me the link or link it in the comments. Because I couldn't even find a list of like what's available. And then they had some that were available like in Europe that we didn't get. Because it went on another couple of years in Europe. Past what it did here.
Past. Oh, so, interesting.
Yeah. So that was cool too. Because they had those. Wasn't there like a little magazine we could get too?
Was that related to it?
Like zoo books? They weren't related, but zoo books we had.
Yeah.
We had Ranger Rick.
Yeah. I remember the zoo books. What else was there? We got a couple of those things back in the day. Oh. Yeah, they had some fun stuff, and then the internet came and swept them all away.
Yeah. There's something special about getting something in the mail every month, like mail for you.
Yeah.
As a kid, getting your own mail was like
mind-blowing. Yeah.
it was amazing. So we have friends that send my daughter postcards when they travel, and it's the best day in the world for her when she gets that. So
right. Yeah. There's something about it even today. All the magical.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm hearing
Okay.
water where I shouldn't.
Uh-oh.
And I need to check that out.
Definitely. So Sandy, you still have a couple of zoo books? That's awesome. I don't remember. I remember having them, but I don't remember much. I remember liking them. Let's see. Green slime molds. I've had slime molds before show up in enclosures here and there. Oh, did you find out what's going on?
Yeah, it's just the pump for the ants. If I don't have I have a little bag over the output. Mm-hmm. So if I don't have that, it shoots like a rocket straight against the glass and it destroys the barrier. So I don't know if you can hear it.
Not really.
But I can hear it through my headphones, and it's like louder than it should be. So I think it just shifted, and there's like a hole in the bag. So it just is shooting straight into the water, this little stream. So into the actual water of the tank instead of down the waterfall.
So is it like a plastic bag? It's not like a sock, like a filter sock?
It's a filter sock. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I need to take it off and clean it again, but they've made a nest kind of in the waterfall. So if I disturb it, they come out and attack. So, but I have to get it off and empty it because it's got all kinds of filters, stuff that went through the pump in it. So it filled up and pushed the rocks all off of it. And,
oh, no.
I need a better solution for it. But now I have a whole lot of other projects to do down here, apparently. So,
yeah. Some of them aren't quite as fun.
None of these are quite as fun. I have to find a way to waterproof the basement again or divert water away from my house.
Yeah.
Each time we took the kids to the Cincinnati Zoo. I think they still have them at my zoo. I bet they do. You might even be able to still get them. The zoo books were fun.
Yeah.
They used to have the double spread page that was like one animal, and then they would have like its skeleton. It would be like running, and they'd have like the skeleton, and then the skeleton with the muscles on, and
you could see the different.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And then they would have all kinds of weird little facts that probably are still correct today, but it was just really neat, and that part of it fascinated me too. Just the fact that these are like drawings, like amazingly good drawings of this animal, basically a painting.
Yeah.
Always thrilled me. Yeah, this has been an obsession. But that's why I don't have any specific information. I'm so jealous that you get to have your brain carries all that specific information for every kind of animal too. And I have these ones don't like Cheetos. Like that's the information that I have. So that's all I get to keep. But all the weird little goofy facts that you find out that are probably outdated now too. So like the Cheeto thing, I can't verify that anymore.
Well, maybe we should do a test someday. Have an entire live stream was just testing. Does this one like Cheetos? Yep. Check the box. Nope. Check this box.
Ember bees, not fans of Cheetos. Most died. That was a thing. Somebody was asking me about rice for isopods, and I was like, I've never heard anybody using starchy foods as a supplement or anything. I don't know that it would hurt them, though.
I've tested it a little bit. I think I've given them rice once in a while. Oatmeal, cooked oatmeal, cooked rice. Kind of, a little bit here and there. And they eat it, but just, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this again. Just kind of like a random, oh, how did this go?
Did it seem to have an effect?
It wasn't bad. It was just like neutral. They ate it.
Yeah, because I've heard all this. I've never heard anybody recommend like starchy foods. I think because they kind of go bad fast. But
yeah,
I was just like, give them sweet potato or carrot or something. Don't bother with rice.
Right.
So I get frustrated with people now and I was this person, so I get it now. It's like not revenge, but it's like full circle. They ask questions about their setup, and I have no idea what they're talking. Like I have no reference, so I don't know what their setup looks like. I don't know moisture levels. I don't know anything about it. It's just like, oh, I have this mold, and how do I get rid of it? Well, what are you doing? What are you feeding? How wet is it? Is it doing this? Is it doing that? Like da. Like with the what's the people with the, and then try to give them the advice that's just generic, and they freak out. But or they get upset. I'm doing that. Okay, all right.
Just checking.
You probably wouldn't have mold. You probably wouldn't have mold. Jalapeno Cheetos are the best Cheetos. I don't know if that's controversial.
Well, in my humble opinion, the best Cheetos are not Cheetos at all. But that's just me. Hot take.
Go on. Continue.
There's another brand of something that I think it's a like rice based or something, and it tastes like Cheetos want to taste. Like I don't remember the exact name. I think Quaker puts it out. Anyway, I like
Shots fired. Tastes like Cheetos want to taste. All right. You got to find out what this is and hook us up. We need to know now.
Yeah.
If it's better than Cheetos and probably better for you.
It is. I'm sure it is better for you, and yeah, it tastes better. It's also gluten free because we have people in the house that eat gluten free things. That's how I discovered it.
See, I'm discovering some gluten free options as well. Some are good.
And
some are like, I can't have this anymore, so I guess I'll have this. It's
exactly. There are quite a few that are like that.
Yeah, like the bread is hard to do. Somebody's saying sourdough is okay for people with gluten.
It depends because sourdough has less gluten in it, I guess, and so depends on whether the person has gluten intolerance or actual celiac disease and different things like that.
Yeah.
Because even
if you have celiac disease,
trace,
don't listen to me. Yeah. Don't listen to me if you have celiac disease. If you have lactose intolerance, I have some great cheese options for you.
Because are there
actual cheese
that have lower lactose?
Or the lactose is gone. So pretty much any cheese that's over is it 18 months? It's 18 or 36. I don't remember. I think it's 36, honestly. If it's aged over 36 months, or the hard cheeses, the lactose crystallizes.
Like Parmigiano, Reggiano, or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what you were saying at first, but yes. Yeah. Parmesan. Yep. Romano, like all the hard cheeses are fine. Goat's milk, sheep's milk, those guys are great. No lactose. Cheddar, yep, you get your aged cheddar and you're good to go. It's going to have a different texture. It's not going to have that creamy texture that you want, but it's going to have that cheese deliciousness. No cards on that. So
no cheese cards. That's too bad. What about those? They should have cards on those maggots that eat cheese in Sardinia.
How did that just come up in my feed? Something down here is wet.
Uh-oh.
Something just smells wet. No, the water's like gone, but it got onto a rug and something else, and it just has a smell now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I need a candle or something. Yeah, do you smell it too, buddy? I need a candle or something. Yeah, I saw that cheese come up, and it's outlawed everywhere, but like all across the European Union, it's outlawed because
people still do it.
health issues. Yeah, people still think it's amazing. Maggot cheese and mite cheese are awesome looking. Hey Frank, get on it. Let me know.
Yeah, that should be your next taste test.
I saw somebody talked. Who's the super chef? Gordon Ramsay into trying it, and he was mad. He was very angry, and then the guy told him he's going to be tasting that the rest of the day, and then he got really angry. Understandably, I think. Yeah. So
he didn't like it.
Yeah. Apparently, it's super pungent. Like it's basically the cheese is working through the larva of the maggots. It's like a specific. They call it a cheese fly.
Yeah.
They embed the cheese with these flies. So when you cut it open, it's just moving because these maggots are in there. And it's the creamy part you're going for that is like basically the waste of the maggot. It's essentially
it's been processed by the maggots already.
Oh, that's an actual moth. Okay.
It is. Yeah.
I breathed in for the first time in a long time, I breathed in a fungus gnat during live last week.
Ooh, yuck! That can
Not my favorite.
I think
Yeah.
How did I miss that? How did I miss that part when I watched?
Yeah, I think it was at the end. It's towards the end.
Maybe I have a few minutes left before the end or something. So I've been watching it in installments.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But
Billions of mites they use on mite cheese. I've never heard of mite cheese.
I don't know if that's
they don't have. Do they have one with like a mycelium?
They do have cheese that have fungi growing in them, so that makes sense.
Well, like blue cheese, right?
Yeah. Gorgonzola, all that kind of stuff. Cheese mites. They produce Cantal, Mimolette, Miebenkäse, or Käse. Miebenkäse, I think it's called. Ooh. The action of the living mites on the surface of the trees contributes to the flavor.
The action. That's a little vague. Like,
yeah, and they have different species. So Mimolette cheese actually has grain mites. Our favorite grain mites. It's that species, Acara ciro. Holy cow. That is crazy.
You mean I could be making cheese right now?
Maybe.
I could be making delicious exotic cheese.
That's crazy.
There's one of my guys. I have this, I don't know if you saw this. I'm going to turn the light on here for you real quick. Sorry about that, guys. It's a little better. I set up this terrarium the other week on an episode, and I have some high yellow armadillidium that Ryan Pavey sent me. And
cool.
like his little project that he got through his yard. It was kind of what I was going for back when I was trying to pick your brain for breeding.
Yeah.
And they're really cool. They're like that, those brownish colors that they have in some of the Punta Cana. Like, some of the Punta Cana come out that brown, like layered.
Yeah.
They're kind of like that, but like more of a cream.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can find one. One was out. That's why I flipped the light on, but he disappeared.
Sounds kind of like the British high yellow form of Armadillidium vulgare. I wonder if it is similar to that.
Maybe. I mean, they probably have the same genetics at some point, right?
They might. It's possible.
Like to an extent, because isn't that where they're from, basically?
Well, there's a lot in Britain, yeah, and probably many of the ones we have here are descended from those.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So that's awesome. So how soon are you going out to buy some of these cards?
Well, I am going to add it to my Father's Day list.
They are definitely worth it. Like, I use my daughter as an excuse to buy these, but she does go through them. She's gone through them and looked at a bunch of them, actually. So
cool.
It's kind of cool. I put them all in order. I stayed up all night. Yeah, alphabetical order by species and or by phylum. And it took me forever. And the next day I came home and they were just everywhere. They were just spread out across the living room floor. Like just by cool ones. She's like, Daddy, these are the red ones and these are the green ones. I love you so much. I need to go outside and punch a tree. I'll be right back. So,
well, that's a good way to do it.
I mean, because what can you do? Like, good.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. She's
Enjoy
what,
them.
6 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 is a struggle. I didn't know. Like, that whole thing with her being as smart as me now is really annoying. Like, I was not prepared. It's like when they start. Yeah, it's like the same time when they start putting sentences together and you're like, oh, that's amazing. That's beautiful. God's shining down on us. And literally like 2 weeks later, just shut up. Just shut up. Why are you still talking?
Suddenly full of snark.
Yeah. And so now she can read stuff. And she's like, that's not what that says. I forget. And it was just all of a sudden, because it seems like just a couple of months ago, she was, is, the, we, and you're like, okay, cool. And now you watch her. I get to see her put together words. and because I was teaching her how to break them down into bits and then put the bits together. And then I said, the secret is most of the time, if you put the bits together and it looks kind of like a word, you can make it sound like a word that it's close to, and try that. So like think, she was trying to come up with think the other day, and she was saying thank or thank, and I was like, no, it doesn't. So she figured out the silent E rule.
Oh.
She figured that out, and then she figured out, I taught her the rule of the, like, if there's a vowel after the first vowel, then it's got the long sound, and then the second one has a short sound. But then you go over words that, I forget what the word was, but it had every way to say the letter G or something in the one word, or every sound that I makes or A makes, like congratulate or something. It was like every possible version of A is in that word. Yeah. So she was just like, you can't teach. There's no rule for that,
Yeah.
At a 6-year-old level, you can't be like, well, it's this because of this and that and this, and that's just how it is. That's just how you read it.
Just English is crazy, and there you go.
Yep. We have all kinds of dumb rules that make no sense, and whatever. We grandfathered it in. So, that's all I have tonight. I hope you had fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did. That was awesome. I felt like we had an excellent stroll down memory lane, and we got to laugh at some extraordinarily silly things that should never have been in print. So, yes.
Yeah, maybe not. Like the king crab one has me dying. Like, oh, thanks, Frank. Yeah, Sandy, you're right. Some words just, you need to see them and know what they are. Does anyone else have a problem? This is honest to God. I'm a great reader, and I love to read constantly. Every time I see the word misled, I read it mizzled. And for a second, I'm confused. Like, what's mizzled? And it's misled. Where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, I actually like that. I like mizzled. I think I'm just going to start saying mizzled now for fun.
Honest to God, every time I read that word, I have to go, oh yeah. Or I'll see it coming almost and be like, oh yeah, that's misled. That, remind yourself, misled is coming up in the sentence. Don't say mizzled and feel stupid. So I don't think I've ever said it out loud, thank God, but I don't know that I did. But anytime I've read it, I've had to be like, what's mizzled?
I think the next time I'm reading, I'm going to say it that way, whether I mean to or not. It's just going to happen.
I hope it happens to everyone who watches this. So yeah. I hope that they're like, oh yeah, mizzled. And then there'll be a curse you, Juglone. So, no, it's been good. This is a good one.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad you found the cards, and I'm glad you invited me. I mean, I'm honored that you invited me.
I thought of you immediately. Yeah, as soon as I started reading them, I said, how do I incorporate this in my show? And then when can I get Russ back? That was the only two questions I had. Because there was no one else I could do this episode with. So, no one else with the, like, I feel like your knowledge gets very into specifics, but we both have the most random, eclectic animal knowledge in our brains. Like every little animal fact just sticks. It's just like, voop. There are other people that have that, but I don't know. I've never met anybody on the same level. It's like Pokemon. It's like the kids that can rattle off every single ability of every single Pokemon. Like, this is us for real life. That's, I think, why the Pokemon kids annoy me. It's like, you can do this, but you can't recognize a raccoon. Like, what? Why can't you recognize a raccoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because they're not applying it in a real life context at all.
Right, but there's a Pokemon that looks like a raccoon.
Yeah.
And so they know that, but they don't know that it's based on a raccoon somehow, or I don't know.
Right.
It's weird. Or they ask what the raccoon's going to evolve into. I don't know. Probably the next humans after we're gone. I think the raccoons will rise up.
Yeah, maybe they already have, and they're just not letting us know yet.
That's highly likely. They still wash their food. We can't manage that anymore. It's wild. But thanks so much, Russ. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm going to do my outro and all of that. I didn't really talk about anything. We're working on. Here's a question I'll ask you as a person who uses internet resources. So we're working on a website, or it kind of took a dive for a minute, where we're going to put together as many links to as many websites that have super solid information on care. But I want to link like I don't know. You have isopods and all kinds of. Do you have care sheets or just information on all kinds of different?
I do have some care. I do have some care sheet stuff. Yeah.
So whatever the care sheets would be, it wouldn't be like, oh, if you want good information, go to oh my god, I can't think of aquariumexpats.com, or whatever it is. It is .com, right?
Aquariumex.com. Yeah.
Okay, I know there's .nets and it's just in my favorites, so I just click a link and go.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be just go there for good information. It would be, if you want information on tailless whip scorpions, here's a link, and it would take you back to yours.
Yeah.
Or if you need information on the benefits of whatever, of moss in your terrariums, like boom, click this link, it'll take you there. Not just like general information, go to this website. Right. So now theirs has come to my attention. Someone kind of beat us to the punch a little bit, but they're doing it different. So it's called, you guys can check it out. It's called Vivipedia, like vivarium, but Vivipedia. Great name.
Although I like Husbandry Hub too.
Husbandry Hub is dope. Yeah, it's really good. I like it. And that was like not just me. Actually, I don't even think it was me that came up with it, but it's great. It says everything we want. Yeah. But they have, basically theirs is like care sheets. And I think they're doing a great job, but they're being very open to critique so far. So they're finding the knowledge and then compiling it. I'm not trying to do that. And I think there's value in both. I think there's value in both sites. Because this way I can link to several different people for the same thing. Because you're going to get differing opinions on all that stuff.
Right.
So, but and a lot of the different opinions have validity. So, because what works for you won't work for me, and vice versa.
Right. Exactly.
So, except for with our shrimp, they're breeding in that tube setup.
Oh, awesome.
I have a buried female in there right now. Yeah. Very exciting. The only problem with it is I have to fill it like all the time. I have to top it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All the time. So I don't know why, but yeah. So as long as people think there's still it'd be a good thing to have both, I'm down to do both. So we're still going to help out the Vivipedia thing. They're on Discord if anybody wants to get involved and help them out, or just go check it out and see. They're at a stage right now where they're very open to critique and advice. So maybe I think it could be a really huge resource for hobbyists. So we need to maybe back them up and go see what they're doing and help them out.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Roach Crossing are doing his, and it's super deep into everything. No common names on anything. Yeah, believe it.
Yeah, the opposite.
Yeah, right. Oh, we could produce cards. There's a site that'll do that for you. Fourth Wall, I could produce a comic book through fourthwall.com.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you send them your art, and then they set it up and put it together.
That's cool.
It's not cheap, but you can do it. So, but guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching this with me and, doing the nostalgia thing. So I've been dying to do this episode for however long I have had these cards.
I've been looking forward to it too. And it's, today has been kind of a rough day, but I've been looking forward to doing this. So I'm glad we got to do it.
Well, sorry to hear that. Thanks for coming on anyway.
Well, this was keeping me going. I knew I was going to do this.
Well, good. I was stressing out to see if I was like, oh, there better not be any more water, or I'm going to be down here just raging quietly. Like, look at this card. Look at this card. Look at this card. It's funny, right? Why aren't you laughing? So, all right, guys, have a good night. We'll see you next week. I don't remember who's on next week. I'll post a link. Let's see. It's not Russ again. I think we're talking with maybe Kevin Nasser about molds. Let's see. You would think someday I'd be better at this. Nope, we're talking about slime molds with Austin from Stella Springtails.
Oh, Frank will love that.
I hope so. Yeah, we're going to talk about those slime molds. So there you go. You'll learn how to get some or where to find them, and we'll take care of it. So everybody will have one by the time we're done with the episode. Have a good week, folks. Peace.